Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi votes in the 2025 Senate elections in Cairo as voting began nationwide. Prime Minister Madbouli casts his vote in 2025 Senate elections in Sheikh Zayed, Giza. And Egypt's Foreign Minister affirms Cairo will take all the necessary legal steps to safeguard its water security. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has ratified amendments to Egypt's old rent law, which changes set to take effect from the next rent payment cycle. The new law introduces phased rent hikes based on location, with premium areas seeing rent rise to 20 times the current rate, minimum 1,000 Egyptian pounds, and economic zones to 10 times minimum 400 Egyptian pounds or 250 Egyptian pounds. For non-residential units, rents will immediately rise to 5 times the current rate, with a 15% annual increase. Residential contracts will phase out over 7 years, while commercial leases end in 5, gradually aligning with market rates. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has cast his vote in the 2025 Senate elections at a polling station in Heliopolis, Cairo, as voting kicked off across the country. The two-day election sees 424 candidates competing for 200 of the 300 Senate seats, 100 through individual races and 100 through party lists. The remaining 100 members will be appointed by the president. Polling stations opened at 9 a.m., with authorities implementing measures to ensure smooth and accessible voting nationwide. The election is organized by Egypt's National Election Authority and relevant institutions. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has voted in the 2025 Senate elections at the Egyptian Japanese School in Sheikh Zayed, Giza. He urged citizens to participate, emphasizing voting as a constitutional right and national duty. Madbouli praised the government's efforts to ensure a safe, organized election and commended the National Election Authority for facilitating a transparent voting process nationwide. Interior Minister Mahmoud Tawfiq has cast his vote in the Senate election, stating that the ministry is in a state of maximum alert to ensure voter safety and a smooth electoral process across the country. He confirmed that all governorates remain stable and that the elections are proceeding in an orderly and secure environment. Ongoing voter turnout continues at 8,286 polling stations nationwide for Egypt's 2025 Senate elections, with voting open until 9 p.m. Ahmed bin Dari, the executive director of the National Election Authority, confirmed close monitoring of the election process following the day's break. The elections run on August the 4th and the 5th, featuring 428 candidates competing for 100 individual seats, alongside the National for Egypt list vying for 100 proportional representation seats. About 63 million voters are registered across 8,286 polling sites, supervised by 9,500 judges, with 2,500 female judges overseeing elections outside their home districts. Election coverage is approved for 18 embassies, 9 international bodies, 58 local organizations, and 230 media outlets. The National Election Authority has confirmed that polling stations for Egypt's Senate elections opened promptly at 9 a.m. to welcome voters. Ahmed Binderi, the executive director of the authority, said that delays affected only a small number of stations, mostly under 5 per governorate, and were caused by supervisors unfamiliar with their polling locations or local congestion. Through video calls with regional monitoring heads and polling station chiefs, Binderi confirmed that voting proceeded smoothly nationwide, with voters arriving steadily and no major logistical issues reported. Egyptians turned out in large numbers to vote in the 2025 Senate elections, with long queues reported across polling stations nationwide. Officials praised the smooth and organized process, with sunshades and accessibility measures for elderly and disabled voters. Cairo, which has over 8 million eligible voters, witnessed particularly strong participation. A total of 424 candidates are contesting 200 seats, 100 through individual races and 100 through party lists, while another 100 members will be appointed by the president. The National Election Authority confirmed that over 69 million Egyptians are eligible to vote, with 25,000 local and international observers monitoring the process. The Arab Organization for Human Rights is monitoring the main voting round of Egypt's Senate elections, scheduled for Monday and Tuesday. By Sunday morning, 32 of the 55 authorized observers from the organization have gathered in Cairo. They will monitor voting in selected governorates across Greater Cairo, the Suez Canal, and Central Delta regions. The organization has set up an operations room to track observer teams, receive information and complaints, liaise with the National Election Authority, and issue reports on the Senate elections. Egypt's First Lady Intisar al-Sisi has praised the national efforts to support young talents, highlighting creativity as key to the country's future. She congratulated the winners of the State Award for the Young Creator on social media, calling them a source of pride and a model for a creative, aware generation. She urged them to keep excelling, emphasizing that the future belongs to gifted youth. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdel has met with the Ugandan State Minister for Foreign Affairs Henry Oryem Okello in Kampala to discuss water security and regional issues. Minister Abdel stressed cooperation under international law to protect Nile Basin rights and warned against unilateral actions, reaffirming Egypt's commitment to safeguarding its water security. The meeting covered bilateral water projects, regional security, and support for stability in Africa. Abdel praised Egypt-Uganda ties, donated agricultural equipment to support Ugandan farmers, and emphasized deepening economic and technical cooperation, including boosting Egyptian investments and training programs in Uganda. Egypt has signed a cooperation protocol with Italy's Nova Technology Della Vita Academy to establish 5 applied technology schools specializing in the electricity sector. The agreement, signed by the Ministries of Electricity and Education, was witnessed by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli in New Alamein. The schools will follow international standards in electricity production, transmission, and distribution, and are scheduled to open in the 2025-2026 academic year. Egyptian Education Minister Mohammed Abdel Latif has met with the Dutch ambassador Peter Mollema to discuss enhancing cooperation in technical education and launching new joint initiatives. Discussions focused on transforming Egypt's technical schools into specialized international institutions, improving graduate access to training and employment in the Dutch labor market, and also modernizing agricultural education. Abdel Latif highlighted Egypt's broader efforts to upgrade technical education in partnership with countries like Italy, Germany, and Japan. He noted plans to convert over 1,270 technical schools into applied technology and dual education institutions. Egypt's Ministry of Social Solidarity has signed a cooperation protocol with the Supreme Council of Technological Education to establish 12 new social solidarity units in technological universities nationwide. The units will offer integrated social and economic services to students and recent graduates, supporting their basic needs year-round. According to the initiative's website, the goal is to promote social peace, sustainable development, and human capital investment. The units will also foster a culture of belonging, citizenship, and volunteerism, encouraging greater participation in public and developmental work. As summer heats up in Egypt, the prickly pear makes its seasonal appearance. This cactus fruit, with its spiky exterior and sweet, juicy flesh, is a popular street snack offering natural refreshment. Grown mainly in regions like Al-Qalyubiyya, the prickly pear thrives in Egypt's hot climate and is valued for its unique flavor and nutritional benefits. Despite rising production costs causing slight price increases, it remains a beloved symbol of Egyptian summers, enjoyed by many for its refreshing taste and cultural significance. Egypt's public procurement framework has gained international recognition in a BRICS New Development Bank report, highlighting its alignment with global best practices and funding standards. Finance Minister Ahmed Kuchuk emphasized the government's commitment to improving procurement systems to boost public-private partnerships and attract investment. A two-day workshop in Cairo will discuss the report's recommendations. Egypt is also finalizing a new electronic procurement platform to streamline processes and enhance the investment climate. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin, and here is what we have been covering. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah Sisi votes in the 2025 Senate elections in Cairo as voting began nationwide. Prime Minister Madbouli casts his vote in the 2025 Senate elections in Sheikh Zayed, Giza. And Egypt's Foreign Minister affirms Cairo will take all the necessary legal steps to safeguard its water security. And that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments. I'm Helen Hamalawi. Thank you so much for watching.